Big up everyone. Welcome to Kel Talks Chelsea. I'm Kel. Today is going to be more Kel Talks England. Mexico 2, England 3. Right, before I crack on, please press the like button. Please subscribe if you so wish to, and add comments down below. Love a chinwag. Let's hear what you've got to say about this England team right now in the 2026 World Cup. Well, at stupid o'clock this morning, about 4:10 this morning, I did a short video, just a little uptake on the match this morning. I was going to say last night, but it wasn't for us in England, was it? Awful time, but I got there. I felt like a drowned rat by the end of it, but there we go. Have all our hearts recovered? And we'll stop chewing our fingernails, guys, because that was a game and a half, wasn't it, for all sorts of reasons. I want to talk about last night's game, this morning's game, but I just want to talk about our progress so far, also through the World Cup. There have been some worrying moments, haven't there? The defence, I think, has been the biggest issue. Sort of leaving a lot of space, letting people run behind, not winning a lot of headers in the back when we're facing free kicks and corners and such. Just general crosses, full stop. Last night, though, the difference. There was a lot more guts. There was a lot more fight. There was a proper battle. There was like, you know, we're going to fight hard because we know we can get through this. A lot of belief, a lot of confidence. I think a bit of that comes from Tommy T, because he's a man that drives that into you. If you're going to listen to someone in the dressing room, it's going to be Tommy T. He has a certain way of getting through to players. But finally, it seems to have done it. But I still am sort of worried about that defence somewhat. In every game, there's been issues. In every game, teams have had chances, and chances that we shouldn't be allowing in the first place. And that back four is being swapped about all over the shop. Unfortunately, we can't do too much about the right back situation. James got injured. And one error, I'll say, with Tommy T is not bringing in another right back and bringing in a centre back, as in Trev Chalobah. That one did raise a few eyebrows, and rightly so, mine included. But yeah, can we please sort that defence out? I know we battled hard at the back last night, but there was still, excuse me, frog in the throat. There were still some issues, even before we went down to 10 men. But let's also take into consideration a high altitude, something us Brits aren't used to. Even our couple of highest mountains that we got here in the UK aren't particularly high. So Ben Nevis and Mount Snowdon, I believe. But there we go. We had the high altitude. We only had a couple of days to try and get used to that. The Mexicans used to it. You've also got the aura of the Azteca Stadium, the history of the Azteca Stadium. You can feel it when you walk in there, and it sort of gets hold of you. Its claws grab you. It suffocates you inside and out, that place. The fans are fantastic. The Mexican fans are off their nuts, and I mean that in a nice way. I mean proper fans, you know. The fact they'd only lost a couple before this morning in 89 games says it all. What a tough place it is to go. And there's always a lot of pressure on the England boys, isn't there, when they go into World Cups? Always a lot of pressure. So you've got to put everything into context. And to come out and do what we did last night, we kicked off and we were under the cosh. It was expected. They were going to come at us. We knew that. And we held our own in regards to defending. There were a couple of sniffs for them, but in general, I think we did all right. I mean, I was listening to Alan Shearer. He said he was quite proud of the boys earlier on. That we held them out. The first 20 minutes were going to be tough, etc. Yes, they were. It was 0-0 by then. And the game went on. The first half went on. A little bit more confidence grew, and all of a sudden, bosh, Jude Bellingham. 2 splendid goals, absolute splendid goals. And I want to say something in Jude Bellingham's defence. Before this World Cup kicked off and when our squad was picked, there was a lot of people slating Jude Bellingham. And oh, he's not ready, he's not good enough, and all that. He's had a poor year, blah blah blah. He shouldn't be in the England squad. Well, shame on you, because he's one of the best players in the squad as far as I'm concerned. Absolutely. He had his injury woes as such. You've got to take that into consideration. And so far, more often than not, he has shone. There's been the odd time when he's been a bit wee, a bit dodgy. But so far, he's been one of our players of the tournament, up there with Harry Kane. And that's something I'm going to get to in a minute. But Jude Bellingham, anyway, puts us 2-0 up. Out of nowhere, absolutely nowhere. 2 goals in what, just over 1.5 minutes. So fair play. Found ourselves in a great position. Lo and behold, a few minutes later though, we can see the goal. It was sloppy defending again. Cross comes in and it sort of bounces off Konsa, and the guy that scored, I'm not going to try and name him, smashes it in. No one on him. Just on the second ball within the box, off the rebound, the ricochet. Guys were not paying attention again. It is still a worry. So he lashes it in. Goodness knows how we got to half time. 2-1 up, because they had several chances thereafter, thanks mainly to Pickford throughout that first half, pulling off 3 or 4 great saves. I've been a little bit critical about Pickford in the tournament as a whole, because there have been times when he's been really good, but then there's times he's made you worry somewhat. Some of his shots, some of his decisions are coming out and punching instead of catching, trying to catch when he should punch. Some of his distribution at times, not as good as it normally is. There have been moments with Pickford, but last night Pickford was superb. Absolutely superb. That's the Pickford we really want to know and we want to see more of. Fantastic from Pickford. So anyway, we get into half-time, 2-1. The guys look shattered. That high altitude, the air quality, not so good. The lungs probably wanting to burst out of their chests. Knackered. They look knackered, but they put in a shift in that first half. Again, at high altitude, it's very hard, very hard. When we come out second half, and for the first sort of 5 minutes, they look different. Mexico, was it me? Or did they look different? They were sitting back and allowing us on the ball and to push further forward, which we did, and we looked quite good. And then all of a sudden, one person spoilt the party. When we looked like we were in the ascendancy for once in that game, Jarell Quansah. Sorry, mate. Boo-boo. What an absolute calamity of a challenge you made, mate. I'm sorry. I didn't really want to throw any negatives into this video, this long version of what I did first thing this morning. But, you know, Jarell, take a look at yourself, mate. Have a good look in the mirror and have a word with yourself, because that challenge was unnecessary, ridiculous, and could have cost us. Absolutely could have cost us. But I also said in my short video earlier on this morning, if you guys want to go and have a look at that, feel free. Just under 3 minutes, so it won't take up too much of your time. I've always questioned his inclusion in the squad, full stop, with several other players. There are other players, raised eyebrows, not just me, but I think with a lot of people with their inclusion within our World Cup squad. Come out of nowhere, him. Again, you guys, anyone, you can laugh at me if you want to, but I still feel a bit sorry for Harry Maguire. And this is why. For once, he had a pretty good season for Manchester United last season. I've heard a lot of Man United fans even saying, you know, why is Maguire not in? He actually, for once, had a really good season. But he's always played well for England. Always. Tell me, when has he ever let us down in that back four for England? I think the least we've ever got out of him is a 7 out of 10. You know what I mean? So, Quansah in and Harry Maguire out. And again, Harry Maguire would have been experience for us. Not like the likes of Jordan Henderson, who probably won't even get used in this World Cup. So that was an absolute waste of a space, really. What are we? 5 games in? Jordan Henderson. Has he played? You tell me. I can't really think of him playing off my head. Maybe for a few minutes at the end of the game. I don't think he has. So what a waste of a position. Could we not have had someone like an Adam Walton in the squad instead? But anyway, I digress. Let's go back. Harry Maguire should be there. Jarell Quansah, why was he even in the squad? Again, one of numerous players you could question. Stupid tackle, put us down to 10 men. And we'd already put in a massive shift, hadn't we? We'd already bust the gut, run ourselves into the ground, but we were still fighting. We were still standing like Trojans, like gladiators. But down to 10 men, so the task become a lot harder. But lo and behold, I mean, there are going to be some players in a bit that I'm going to praise and sort of give marks out of 10. The select few that really shone this morning. I mean, the ball comes over, Harry Kane sort of comes off the top of his arm, runs straight in line for Anthony Gordon to run onto, wins us a penalty, definite penalty. He got there just before the goalkeeper. Anthony Gordon, for once, had a really good game, I think. A little bit going forward, but mainly with his defensive work. Absolutely superb, working his backside off. And I have slagged him off quite a bit, the first few games especially in this tournament, where he was absolute toilet and he was invisible and he looked like his head was already in Barcelona, you know. But credit where credit's due. Last night he wins that penalty. Harry Kane, if there is anyone you want to take a penalty for England, it's him. I know he's missed the odd one in his career for England and for club teams, but who hasn't, you know? Hasn't quite even missed as many as Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi's, I think, missed a lot more penalties than Harry Kane in his career, but hey ho, again I digress. Anyway, the calmness, the coolness, the confidence, smashes it in the back of the net to give us a 3-1 lead. I mean, wow. Considering what had gone on all that first half, to find ourselves in a 3-1 lead was absolutely amazing. The game goes on, and obviously Mexico start hitting us again, start bombing us again, start putting us under the cosh, under pressure again. And we took it for the best part, and they got a penalty. Now, I don't know, I'm sort of stuck in the middle. Was it, wasn't it? I can understand to agree. Harry Kane's caught their player under his leg. They've both sort of gone up at the same time. The other guy was a little bit quicker to the ball. He's knocked him on the bottom of the leg. But I'm sure Harry Kane, if you look closely, gets his toe end to that ball first. I think he just about touches that ball before he hits the player. Maybe I'm clutching at straws. I don't know. Thankfully, it didn't cost us in the end. Please tell me your thoughts. Now, they get the penalty. They score it. It's 3-2. And then, wow, they're right on us. Proper on us. Even more so than prior in the game. And I tell you what, you even had Jed Spence come on and Dan Burn coming on to block them out, basically. Two more faces, two more defenders in that back line. Yeah, they done a job, didn't they? Well, we can't be anything but proud of them, considering everything that happened in that game. It was freaking mental, that match. Absolutely off its nuts. Crazier than a potato on speed, that, wasn't it? No, let's be proud of them last night. I mean, they've taken a few knocks with some of the performances, individually and collectively, during this tournament. But last night we got to give them credit. Apart from Jarell Quansah, have a word, mate. Yeah, have a word with yourself, geezer, because you almost let us down. Stupid, unnecessary. Learn from your mistakes, mate. But look. Praise. There were some little negatives in there. Well, one's a big one, Jarell Quansah. But we still look a little bit, I know it sounds weird me saying this because I'm praising them and the battling and everything at the back. But they still had some chances they could have taken. There were 2 or 3 times they've mishit the ball, misheaded the ball. And they could possibly have done better with those efforts. So there was an element of luck, but there was also an even bigger element of hard work, grit, determination, passion. And that's what I want to see from those. We're not 3 lines for nothing, you know. There's pride there. Pride. Absolute pride. So please keep ironing out those defensive issues, Tommy T. They're still there, mate. Even with that performance this morning. Any realist will know that. It looks very shaky, that back four. I don't really like it. I question it. Mark he's not been overly impressive. Conce has been a bit hit and miss. Stones, he's always a second away from an injury, isn't he? You know what I mean? He came on again as another defender that came on. I forgot to mention him. Superb. Bit of experience there in the back line, which was great. Just stay fit, and I think Stonesy should play more often if he can stay fit, because he's got a bit more minerals than anyone else in that back four. It's just his legs, isn't it? So, yeah, Tommy T, sort it out. Can we win the tournament? Yes, we can. Of course we can win it. Will we? That's a different question, isn't it? There might be some different answers from people with that question. But we are capable. We've got this far without looking totally in control of our matches, haven't we? And we haven't been in total control. We've had great performances in certain aspects, but we've had poor performances in others, in areas, you know what I mean? Especially with that back four, that back line. Hopefully James comes back, because that right back position is an absolute joke right now. Playing Jarell Quansah there anyway. Yeah, okay, some people say, well, he's playing out of position. He's still a professional footballer and he should still know how to tackle. Doesn't matter if he's playing at right back. There's no excuse for that tackle. But that right back position is the worry. Reece James, I don't know if you're going to come back fit in time, mate, because we all know your history at Chelsea, mate. Where how many times we heard the medical staff at Chelsea say it'll be 4 weeks, and he's out for 8 to 12. You know, it's that sort of thing. You never know what to believe. So, Reece James, hurry up, please. Be there for the Norway game, mate. We need you. That right back position is a scary one. It's a big gaping hole there. We keep filling it with players who can't play there. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with Jed Spence's fitness. I don't know. Maybe Jed Spence should have played slightly out of position on the right hand side, because he is a full back. Not necessarily a right full back, but if Reece James isn't fit, play Jed Spence at right back and keep O'Reilly left back. There's no way. O'Reilly wasn't too great last night. You know, I know he didn't mean it, but flinging out an elbow like you did, mate, when you got your yellow card, sometimes you can get sent off incorrectly, but sometimes, depending on the refs, you can get sent off, mate. And I don't think VAR and the ref were particularly good this morning. Do you? It's not the first dodgy one we've seen. Maybe, I mean, definitely our penalty. Maybe their penalty were correct decisions. I don't know. Give me your opinion with their one. But overall, I thought that ref was poor, very poor. There was one the other day. I can't remember what game it was. Kazakhstan referee, absolute abysmal performance. And there have been some other real dodgy performances, including VAR decisions. Even in this tournament, VAR are still getting certain things wrong. But again, I've digressed. Let's praise our lads for last night, because we have been knocking them on the odd occasion in this tournament so far. I mean, that was a different sort of good performance last night. Not your exhilarating football, skinning people alive and smashing in spectacular goals and looking like world beaters, you know, with the ball at their feet. Last night was a battle, like 1066, Battle of Hastings, you know. But this time, we come out on top. Our King Harold, our King Harry, didn't get an arrow through his eye socket, you know what I mean? So, well done, Harry. But my shout-outs, I think there's 4 in particular shout-outs. Let me start off with Jordan Pickford. Jordan Pickford was the goalkeeper we expect between the sticks last night. Pulled off some fantastic saves. He come out and caught at the right times, and when he punched, he didn't flap at the punches and cause mayhem within his own box. He actually got his punches right last night. He was in command. He was in charge at the back there. So, well done to Jordan Pickford. I'll give you praise this time, mate. Good on you, mate. Keep it going. Second one, Anthony Gordon. He's come alive a little bit now. He's woken up. And it's not just with his offensive work this morning against the Mexicans. Defensively, he was superb, backing up on our left back position, working his guts out, man, I tell you. So fair play. Keep it going, Anthony Gordon. We missed you to start with. Now you've arrived, mate. Keep it up. Next one, Harry Kane. Yeah, it just does his stuff, and that penalty. Cool. Mr. Cool. Mr. Freeze when he took that penalty. But he does work his backside off. I don't really like him defending so much. Maybe on set pieces I understand it. But when we're being hit on open play and stuff and he's in the box, mate, we need you further up pitch, you know what I mean? So you overdo it a little bit. Don't mind you doing it here and there, especially with set pieces and stuff. But save your energy more for a bit more of your attacking prowess, yeah. But led by example, skipper, proper skipper. But the biggest one of the match, Jude Bellingham. Again, people slagging him off. The geezer's mustard. Don't doubt him. All right, form's temporary, class is permanent. This kid is class. Okay. Just run himself into the ground. You see him coming off at half time, looks shattered. You see him coming off at full time, looks shattered. You know, he works his butt off, this kid. He's full of passion. Some people may say he's arrogant. Does Cristiano Ronaldo not have a bit of arrogance? Does Lionel Messi not have a bit of arrogance? People like Zinedine Zidane not have arrogance? These great players. And you're saying, what are you putting him in the same category as them for? Because I think eventually he could possibly reach those sort of heights. Maybe not quite as good, but just maybe a smidgen just below. So to be the best of the best sort of thing, you need a touch of arrogance. You don't want to overdo it, but you all need a bit of arrogance. And this kid's got it, and I like it. He uses that arrogance in the right ways. But he's full of passion. He loves his country. Stop knocking someone who loves his country, because there's a lot of people out there who will slate you for dissing your country. This guy loves England. He loves playing in England. Loves putting the 3 lines on his chest. And he's class. And he's in form. Long may it continue. The only issue I've got with Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham is what they've got. 10 of our goals. Who else to score for us? Rashford. It's a bit of a worry if we lose these guys to injury. Do we rely on Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane too much? I think we do. I just hope, touch wood, they don't get injuries, because I think we'll be lost without them, and you'll soon notice a difference if they're not there. So can other people please start scoring? It would be nice. But let's have it. What a great result. Horrible place to go. High altitude, the air quality is not particularly great. Plus, I think they have a bit of a pollution problem as well, places like Mexico City. So, yeah, I don't know how many people were there, 70, 80,000 Mexicans in that stadium. And we shut them all up in the end. And that's good. That's good. Well done, England. Long may it continue. We've got Erling Haaland and his Nordic army on Saturday. They beat Brazil 2-1, deservedly so. Brazil haven't looked good for many years. I think Ancelotti, now look, he knows more about me, about football. He knows more than I could probably ever know in 10 lifetimes. But I think we all know that he probably made 1 or 2 errors with his squad. But the squad as a whole is not the greatest they've ever had, is it? It's quite average. And they got done last night, and rightly so. Norway were better. But it also does help when you have that big Viking bugger up front, doesn't it? Because he is class. So yeah, Norway it is. Erling Haaland and his Nordic army on Saturday in Miami. 10 o'clock, I believe, GMT time, 10 p.m. Bring it on. That's going to feel almost like a Premier League match, I think. There's quite a few Premier League players there, all Premier League style players within the Norway side. It's going to be another test. I just hope we can up the ante, because I think we've still got more gears to go. I still think we're probably still stuck in, out of our 5 gears, we're probably still stuck in second. Let's get up the 3rd and 4th. All right, we haven't really seen us play tremendously brilliant overall throughout a whole game, at the back and at the front and everything. You know, we've never been in total control. Now let's get in total control. Let's finally play a team off the pitch, yeah, and let's do that with Norway. Could even end up having a possible game against Argentina in the semi-finals if we're lucky. Don't let us down, but it's going to be a tough one for different reasons to the Mexico game. It's still going to be a tough one though, but we've done it. 3-2, Mexico 2, England 3. The three lines march on. Let's see where we can go. Like I say, we can win it, but will we? Only time will tell. With me, the French look pretty good. The Spanish are warming up, but talking about the Spanish, they've got a tough one. Portugal, I think if you could pick all those games in the last 16, that game sort of stands out, doesn't it? Bit of a rivalry, right next door to each other. They're neighbours, and there is a proper rivalry between Portugal and Spain. That game stands out, and I think that's going to be a really good one. So Spain, Portugal, you can't ever write them off. They're another team that could possibly go all the way. They've got some very good players there. They haven't been overwhelmingly brilliant, but neither have we, and we're in the quarterfinals. So you can't write the Portuguese off. The Spanish, yeah, they're warming up. The French are looking all right. Argentina, kind of plodding their way through. Again, they're a bit like us, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, where we rely on Bellingham and Harry Kane. I think they do rely quite heavily on Lionel Messi. How would they perform without Lionel Messi in their team? You tell me. Who else? Yeah, the French, they're getting better and better and better with each game. Yeah, can't write them off. Got some outstanding players in their side. So there's still plenty of teams in the hat. You never know, there might be some dark horses coming through. Who knows? Football's a funny old game, as Jimmy Greaves used to say. But bring it on. We're in the quarters. We've got Norway. Let's see how we go. Get in there, England. Have it. Right. I might bring you some Chelsea news at some stage if there's some, but I haven't really, because it's been the same old tosh and you've all heard it. Xhaka's coming, Xhaka's not, Xhaka's coming, Xhaka's not. Chelsea are looking at this player, Chelsea are admiring this player, Chelsea fancy this player, they're interested in that player, blah, blah, blah. And all we signed is this Marco Palestra so far. So, yeah, we can't even get this unknown 28-year-old left-back Chiavara from Rio Vallecano sorted. Where's our Lacroix? Where's he? What's happening? Who'll we buying? Yeah, goodbye to Tyreek, George. Shame it didn't work out for you, mate. When you first come into the team for Chelsea, I thought there was a hidden gem. I thought this kid's going to be a star, and it didn't kind of work out, did it? He's off to Everton. Good luck to you, Tyreek, George. Don't forget your roots though. Chelsea have sort of helped to make you the footballer you are, so I hope you're not one of these that's going to slate the club off behind our backs and all that. I don't think you will, but good luck, mate. Yeah, so Chelsea, where are our signings? All right, we're just hearing this, hearing that, we're not seeing it, are we? So when there's something half decent coming out in the news, I'll do a video on it and let you guys know. But yeah, let's get back to England. Quarterfinals, Norway, we're coming for you. All right, let's have it. Saturday, 10 p.m. GMT in Miami, England versus Norway. Oh, let's have it. And Blueco out, always Blueco out. And that's that. I'll speak to you soon, guys. Come on, the free lines. It's coming home. It's coming home. Football's coming home. Sorry, mate. I'll shut up. I don't want to jinx it. Anyway, see you later, peeps. Keep it happy. Keep it fun. Just go for it.